Yeah, hate him. But very... Some men are like that, you know?
Yeah.
Some men are like that. And it... triggers something.
Really just rustles your jimmies. You know,
I
another...
don't have jimmies.
Everyone has jimmies. You put them on your ice cream. Anyway.
What are you talking about?
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Clued and Clueless. I'm Mario.
And I'm Kristen.
And I'm pretty sure I'm clueless again.
You are again clueless, yes. How you been?
You know...
How's your week been? It's the end of the week. We're recording this on a Friday.
Yeah, it feels like we were recording like not too long ago, almost. But, feel good, you know? Mm-hmm. It's been a eventful day.
Do you have anything exciting going on this weekend?
I
What
do.
movie are you seeing tonight?
I'm seeing Scream.
Oh, you're excited for that.
So
do
excited.
they still have the popcorn things that you were talking about?
We're not going to, I think it's Regal that's doing it.
Oh, okay.
Regal or AMC, one of those. They're doing that whole thing.
You in Alamo?
Yeah, we're going to Alamo.
Uh-huh.
But Kagan ordered some for me.
Aww.
So it's not going to ship until a very long time.
Oh, whatever.
But I'm fine with that.
But you have it. Yeah,
I
you
have
don't
it.
need it for the movie. You just need it in your collection.
Maybe you'll see it on video one day. Maybe there'll be a little popcorn bucket right here.
Our child.
Covering up the microphone.
the clued and clueless child.
What about you? What do you got going on this weekend? Oh, we also have an Oscar party.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's super fun. Okay, and we're dressing up for the Oscar party, right?
We're dressing up.
Is everyone, like, dressing up? What do you mean by dressing up? Because if I show up over the top, I'm going to feel really bad. I'm going to feel uncomfortable.
Like that.
I'm showing up red carpet ready. I'm wearing the dress that I wore to my cousin's wedding last week.
So, like I said, dress up, right?
Okay.
But it's also, like, however you want to dress up. I just said picture appropriate. Is what
I'm dressing for the red carpet. I'm dressing for the Oscars.
Go for it.
You know what I was thinking? It would be fun if we did a Clued and Clueless episode. I don't know about this year. I gotta look and see. I think I've seen a lot of the movies that are for the Oscars. No, okay. So then maybe next year for Clued and Clueless. I think it'd be fun to do an Oscars episode.
I definitely think so. I wanted to run that by you, but I was like, I have so much going on right now.
No, we should definitely do that. And I saw a lot of movies more than I usually do this past year because I feel like I've really, as a personal goal, upped watching movies and tried to make that more of a priority. Mm-hmm. So I've been watching that, watching more movies, and I've seen a good number of the Oscar-nominated pictures now. Not all of them, but a pretty good number of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we sent you an email, so fill out that form because we're playing for a prize also.
What? When did you send that to me?
You'll see it after we start watching.
Okay.
But in saying that also, I think you mentioned in last episode, you have an audition you're going to.
I do. I'm auditioning tomorrow to be in Beauty and the Beast. Yesterday I was listening to the episode that came out today about Beauty and the Beast, and I, as gently as I can, try to put these drinks down, but I heard it and it just went clunk. Sorry.
What are you doing now?
To show the people. Anyway.
Hey, man, we're cutting your segment of what you're doing tomorrow.
No, please. This is my only chance. So I have an audition tomorrow for to be in Beauty and the Beast. So we'll see how it goes. I've been sick for like a week. It's almost completely gone. My congestion is almost completely gone. Yeah. I don't know if you can still hear it when I'm talking. It sounds a lot better today than it did even just a couple of days ago. And I can sing now. I can at least get through songs, but it doesn't really sound like my voice yet. So I'm really hoping that tomorrow it's all cleared out. But I guess we'll see. I just got to do well enough to get a callback. That's all I got to do, and then I can show up for the callbacks. But I gotta power through.
Nice. Well, I don't get allergies, so I don't ever have to experience something like that.
Well, but it's not. It's because I don't have allergies either. I don't have allergies, but I was moving out of my previous apartment unit that flooded, and all like the walls are knocked down. As soon as you walk in, like there is just a thick layer of dust over everything.
Yeah.
And I was moving everything out, and I started wearing a mask when I felt that it was starting to bother me, but I could feel my like lungs and my throat being coated with dust. So I think I had a reaction. My body was like, you can't be bringing all this in here, and it defended itself.
Defended itself at a cost.
At great personal cost.
So going back to topics, speaking on your love of movies, I love movies also. I feel like we love entertainment in general. Mm-hmm. So what movie are we watching today?
So today we're going to be watching Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. I don't really have like an emotion because I've never really thought of Bridesmaids.
Really?
Yeah.
I know you haven't seen it, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah.
It's great. I saw it late.
Interesting.
But I think it's because I think I saw it a little late because like I think maybe I was not like too young for it, but I wasn't gonna like watch it with my parents, you know. It was like, so whatever. What year did Bridesmaids come? I don't even have my laptop out. Completely unprepared as Clued. But anyway, but yes. So Bridesmaids, it has Kristen Wiig in it, who I love. Melissa McCarthy, Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph's in that?
Yeah.
So
Also,
I was gonna say Anna Kendrick, but
no,
yeah, she's not even
no. It has Rose Byrne, is that her name? Rose Barnes. It's something like that. She's in it too. But anyway, I think you're gonna like it. It's funny. I think it's a pretty, I don't want to say not classic in the sense of like a classic, you know, but like
people definitely talk about it like all the time.
It's a good movie that people keep in.
I wouldn't call it like a cult classic or anything like that, but it's definitely one of the movies that I feel like a lot of people see.
A widely well received comedy.
I'm shocked that I've never seen it. That's why I was like, I don't really know what emotion to go with. Because it's like, wow, it's not something that I've ever been like super excited. I was like, I need to see, but it's not something I was like, if someone was like, oh, let's put this on, you're
gonna be upset. Yeah.
So I'm like,
I'm excited for you to see
fun to see.
I think you're gonna laugh. It's a big quotable movie. I quote it a lot. Well, me and my sister quote it a lot. There's like certain pieces that just like we'll quote every now and then. And I'm a huge Melissa McCarthy fan and a huge Kristen Wiig fan. So it all comes together for me.
Awesome. Well, in saying that, I guess we're gonna jump into the movie and we'll see y'all in a bit. John Hamm, Terry Crew, and Rebel Wilson. Oh my! Welcome back, everyone, to Clued and Clueless.
Every time that we film one of these, I reconsider filming the next one. Every time we film one, you give me at least one reason to genuinely consider not filming the next.
So I take it you didn't like the movie?
I love Bridesmaids. But what did you think? This is your first time seeing it.
It was so funny.
Yeah, dude, you were cracking up. I got some giggles out of my boy over here.
This was my notes for Beauty and the Beast, okay?
Yeah.
This is my notes for Bridesmaid because it was just so tiny. I was just
And you have just a quote because it's a quotable movie.
I have a lot of quotes. But I was too invested in the movie to like just keep writing notes.
Yeah, because it was a good movie.
It was like You of Clue. It was just like I was just really drawn into it. It was hilarious. Did we see exactly what year this came out again?
I will look it up right now.
Yeah, if we could do it because I meant the
2011.
2011. Okay, wow, that's a lot sooner. Like it's still a long time from like.
Well, that was 12 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, still a long time, but I thought it was like 2008.
Oh, no. So how old were we in 2011? We were like around 14, right? 13, 14?
Yeah, 13.
11 years ago. We're 26.
I graduated in 2014.
So we were like 14, yeah.
Yeah, I was 16 when I graduated. I was 18 when I graduated.
We said a lot of numbers just now.
Yeah, I was 18 when I graduated high school. What?
Well, we're 26.
Yeah.
So 11 years ago.
Oh, you're doing easier math.
Yeah. So wait, put when you're editing this, put like all the numbers that we're saying floating out there. Okay, wait. We're 26. This is taking us so long. Stop.
I'm not doing anything.
26 years old. 11 years ago.
15.
Well, but that's not right. The math's not happening for that. I guess, yeah. 2011, because I guess I would have been starting high school, because I think I graduated 8th grade in 2011. So I was 14 or 15, depending on the time of the year.
Yeah, there you go.
Out. Okay.
Why is that so hard?
I don't know. Because you were saying so many numbers while I was trying to say quicker numbers. Yes, you were. Anyway.
Oh, that's... Anyway.
I'm tired. I need a nap. Okay, so we watched Bridesmaids, and you liked it.
I did. I enjoyed it. It was funny. John Hamm comes on pretty fast into the movie. He just like, bang, there he is.
Bam.
Literally.
Yeah. Right at the beginning of the movie.
What was his
character's name? I don't even know his character's name.
Well, funny enough, wasn't it John? I feel like she called him John.
No, let me see. I'm looking it up. There was Air Marshal John.
Oh, maybe I'm getting Air Marshal. I could have swore his name was also John, and I was gonna be like, oh, that's funny because his actual name is John Hamm.
He was, let's see, on IMDb, they're not listed in, like, order of...
They're listed in order of star power, and he's not a big enough star to...
Okay. He's not on here. Oh, is it Jon?
Yeah.
Oh. That's not the good way to spell it. Air Marshal John. Okay, John Hamm, Ted.
Ted. Okay.
Uncredited,
You know
it
what?
says.
I kind of saw that coming, honestly, with the whole
I
uncredited
didn't.
part. Because I felt like he was in there for so little time. I don't know why. I don't get the whole
But
point.
he had a character. He was like
Exactly.
a plot point.
I don't get the whole point of
I don't-
uncredited things.
I think that what I'm learning through this podcast is I don't understand why
Yeah.
people would not be. I don't understand why you wouldn't be credited, period. I think if you were in it, you deserve to be credited.
Yeah.
But I'm also an actor, so.
And I'm not. But I still don't understand. But what'd you think of John Hamm? What's your opinion?
What did I what are you asking? What do I think of John Hamm?
Yeah.
What do I think of his character?
What did you think of Ted? How was it? You hated him?
Hate him.
Yeah,
It
he
would be
wasn't.
on
He wasn't
site.
a great guy.
It'd be on site, bro.
On site.
Yeah, I
As in
hated
you would
him.
fall under his spell on site.
No,
Oh, okay.
as in I would. For those people who are listening,
We're
I'm
throwing
making
punches.
punching movements. So anyway, yeah, hate him. But very. Some men are like that, you know?
Yeah.
Some men are like that, and it triggers something.
Really just rustles your jimmies. Another.
I don't have Jimmy's.
Everyone has jimmies. You put them on your ice cream. Anyway.
What are you talking about?
You can call sprinkles jimmies.
Where? Who calls them
I
that?
think people in the north.
No.
Oh,
I lived in Ohio for a while. I've never heard anyone say that before. Lying to my face right now.
We'll come back to that in a future episode.
When we get to
But-
that point in your notes.
Exactly. Next person though who appeared, we'll probably talk about John Hamm more as the movie goes on. But the next person who just randomly appears, which is probably also uncredited, was Terry Crew.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what's he doing? I mean, like, he's funny.
See, that's a true cameo.
That is a definite
John Hamm was not a cameo. This is a true cameo where he's just in it for 2 seconds,
Send
nothing to do with the plot, never see him again. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, I mean, he's funny. I love him, as we can see from me choosing Longest Yard, him being in there as Cheeseburger Eddie. Mm-hmm. Don't remember his name in this one. I'm just gonna call him yoga and fitness
I don't
instructor.
know if yeah.
But he was funny. And then our third, I'm just going through our little cameo list that I saw real quick, was Rebel Wilson.
Oh, you're right. It is Terry Crews.
Oh my gosh, I knew I was right.
You're right.
You're gaslighting me.
I thought his name was just Terry Crew.
Wow. Today's word of the day is gaslight. Kristen has gaslit.
Is he related to Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise?
To Ted Cruz?
Ted Cruz? I think those cruises are all spelled differently.
Yeah, he's just listed as boot camp instructor.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And then Rebel Wilson, though, also.
Yeah.
Just appearing here, and she's funny. And
She's
her
a character.
again, like, John Hamm's not a cameo. I don't know why it's, again, don't understand the whole uncredited thing part. But definitely her and Terry Crews are cameos, I want to feel.
No, she's not a cameo. She's
You
a
don't think
character.
you think...
No, a true cameo is like you just kind of pop in. You're not really relevant to the storyline. You're not really like necessarily even a named character. That's a true cameo in my mind. She's in multiple scenes. She plays a piece of, you know what I mean?
I suppose.
To me, a cameo is like Dustin Hoffman in The Holiday. Like he's just in it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess. I mean...
Otherwise, then you're just a character. You're just an actor with a character.
Well, she is kind of an actor of a character in this movie.
Oh, so that's what I mean. She's not a cameo.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Wait.
My bits are falling apart. But no, she was funny in this also. I did actually like seeing of the main cast people, Maya Rudolph, because I've never seen a lot of her just like actual work.
Yeah, I haven't either. I feel like I know her mostly from SNL.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say SNL and then Grown Ups, because she's Chris Rock's wife.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love her in that. She's hilarious in that. But I was like, man, I can't really think of what else she's really done.
Yeah.
I know she was recently in this Netflix, like, I don't know if you've seen it. It's with Will Forte? He plays like a cop, and like everything's supposed to be improv.
Oh, interesting. No,
It's actually like really funny.
Is it a TV show or what?
There is, yeah.
Who Killed Santa?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's the actual one, but it was like a Christmas special.
Okay.
Super funny. But Oh, she's in Big Mouth.
In Big Mouth. I knew that, but I haven't seen Big Mouth.
I haven't either. I didn't know that though, but
I'm trying to see. Yeah, I really just know her from Saturday Night Live.
Hubie Halloween.
That's a You movie.
No, actually, it's an Adam Sandler movie,
which makes it fall solidly in your category.
She's in The Good Place, apparently.
I never watched The Good Place.
I don't think
I only saw a couple of episodes with my mom, and then it was like while I was visiting, so we haven't watched it since.
You know what this is saying?
She's in Wine Country. That was an okay movie. I think I remember laughing at it.
Lego Movie 2. Yeah, this is just definitely telling me I should watch more of Maya Rudolph in movies. I think she's hilarious, and she really, I think, doesn't really get the credit she deserves sometimes.
I think she's made a pretty big name for herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. She though also just talking about like, wanting to see more movies that she's in, because she runs in the circuit with like Kristen Wiig and who else? I would say, listen, I know that Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are kind of her own thing, but I do think that they team up with like Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph every now and then, and that circuit of like funny gals make good movies.
Well, it definitely came out in this movie. Yeah. Especially Melissa McCarthy.
Mm-hmm. She's hilarious in this. She is so funny. So many of the lines that me and my sister quote are her lines. Like the, well, look at that. Or the like, when she goes like, oh, what's that? When she does that is, me and my sister quote that all the time. It's coming out of me like lava. Me and my sister quote that all the time, dude.
And, oh my gosh. What was it with her? Oh, I remember when she had walked in with all the dogs from the bridal party. I was like, oh my god, I totally remember this whole thing. Like, I just remember that scene in particular. I think it was just a gif of her coming in with all that. And I've never known what it was from, but I was like, oh my god, this is what it's from. Yeah. It's hilarious. She's stealing all these puppies. And real quick, before we keep going on, because we kind of just jumped into it, because, again, this movie is hilarious. I just want to talk about it. Yeah. But what is this movie? Like,
what's the concept of it? So Bridesmaids is about a woman who is getting, well, really it focuses on Annie, who is just kind of going through a rough patch in her life. She opened up a bakery, but in the middle of the recession, the bakery is broken, or has failed. She had to close down the business. She's having trouble with her love life. It's just, she's in a rut. She's in a rough part of her life. Meanwhile, her best friend since childhood has gotten engaged, and here's Mario's ring. Has gotten engaged, and it's just the story of like the bridal party basically going through from like her engagement to her getting married, and she kind of finds a rival in one of the other bridesmaids. So Annie is the maid of honor, but one of the other bridesmaids is kind of competing for like the affections of the bride, basically, and like they're kind of knocking heads over who is better friends with the bride, and it's just all of the hilarious things that happen with that, basically. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. And in saying that, also, Annie also starts finding actually love in the movie, because, like we said, she's kind of in the dumps. She's her mom jokes near the beginning of the movie that she's hit rock bottom, but turns out she really didn't. And then she starts finding someone that she cares about, and she's like, wow, maybe I can not change like as a person. I don't think anyone should ever change, but they just need to realize like kind of what Melissa McCarthy kind of taught her. It's like you kind of got to stop just hoping that
you got to stop feeling bad for yourself.
Exactly, stop feeling bad for yourself.
Changing things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she finds this man who does it, and again, she pushes away because she's like just feeling bad for herself. She's like, I don't think I can be happy, you know?
Yeah, she's currently dating. Well, we find out that her boyfriend, when she opened the bakery, left her, dumped her when the bakery went under. And then now she's dating, kind of like casually seeing John Hamm's character, Ted, who sucks, is just really bad, not respectful of her time, her heart, anything. Like, just horrible to her. But she's lost, and she hasn't really decided for herself that she's worth more than what that man is giving her. So she's kind of just accepting that right now. And then she meets the officer.
Chris. That's his actual name.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't sound familiar to me. What's his...
Reynolds. Is it not Reynolds? It is Reynolds.
No, Rhodes.
I was so close.
Rhodes. Getting the R right doesn't...
Yeah, there's a O in there too.
Anyway, she meets a police officer. They have a little meet cute.
You love a good meet cute.
Love a good meet cute. Pulls her over because her tail lights are out, and then they just kind of keep running into each other and form a nice little bond. But she feels like she can't. Well, she gets a little too emotionally invested, and it scares her. Yeah. And she stops calling him back, basically, and kind of pushes him away. What is that?
What is what?
I was thinking about that while that was on. What is that? What is that, like... You're being kind to me. Go over there. What is that? Because that's a trope that we see in, like, movies and TV shows. And I feel like I'm not bad about that, but, like, I feel like I've done that kind of. And, like, what is that? I can't figure out what exactly that is. Because it doesn't feel good to not be treated kindly. But, like, what? I don't know if I don't know. I was trying to work through it while I was watching this, and I can't put my finger on what exactly that is.
Isn't it something like, you're putting your guard up because you've been heartbroken before, and then you just feel like you know everyone's motive, and you're like, I don't want that to happen to me again, so let me just get on.
Maybe.
Let me get ahead of it and push you away instead.
I don't think that's wrong. I think that people are multifaceted, so sometimes I think that probably is the driving force behind it. But I don't think I've ever felt, like, particularly guarded in that way, so I don't know. But I know I've done that.
Maybe you're just, like, built different in, like, a different shape or form than our hero.
Than our protagonist.
Amy, yeah.
Because I think that you're right. That's probably maybe where she's coming from.
Because even Maya, I forgot her actual name, so I'm just going to call her by the actor. Maya,
why can't we remember any of these characters' names?
You know,
we have not been able to remember... Lillian.
I would never guess that, actually. But no. She even tells him, because she's, like, says that she's, like, sleeping with John again. You know what I mean? But then she's like, he's terrible for you. And I think you always
leave feeling bad about yourself. And, yeah.
But she goes back to him because she's like, well, we're never going to have, like, a relationship.
Yeah.
You know? To her, it's just like, we're just having
fun. But she
kind
of tries.
Because that is this funny part.
Yeah, because she tries. She asks him to go to the wedding with her.
Oh, you're right.
But she gets shot down. But she kind of tries to, like, initiate something, like a romantic bond with him. I just think that that's so interesting, and I can't exactly figure it out.
We have a complex hero in our hands.
There's a lot to unpack with our protagonist here.
It is very very strange, actually, that she would push her. Maybe, you know what? Looking at it in a movie perspective, not so much of an emotional perspective.
Okay.
Is it so much more to go back to her bakery, where she kind of just wants to shut that part of her life out because it failed, like, so miserably, and that's, like, she feels like that's why she ended up here, and, like, besides, like, her boyfriend, like, leaving her because it failed, but maybe it's because, like, Rhodes wants her to do this, like, get back in there, do something that you love, you know? It's like, stop, just do what you love, do what you care about, do what you're good at.
I think that that's definitely a piece of it, and I think that that's probably why they wrote that scene as it is. So she spends the night with Rhodes, and the next morning he has done this beautifully wonderful thing for her. First of all, he brings her a cappuccino in bed, which is so sweet. But then he tells her to come out to the kitchen, and she comes out, and he has laid out all of the things that she needs to bake a cake, which is so sweet and so thoughtful. And that's kind of when we see her start to... I feel like when she wakes up, you can see she's kind of a little hesitant about her decisions.
Yeah.
But then when she walks out and she sees that is when she really starts to close up. And so I think that the writers put that in because that's probably a hint as to, like, this is a lot for her and, like, this is pushing her over the edge. But I definitely think that that's a piece of it.
I think it's just a bunch of things that are around in her life.
Maybe it also just ties into, like, feeling bad for herself, right? Not that she doesn't think that she deserves something good, but sometimes when you kind of get in a rut, especially when so many things seem to be failing you at the same time. Sometimes there's almost like a hesitancy to allow things to get better, because there is sometimes a tendency to want to sit and wallow for a little bit, and just, not that you don't think you deserve better, but that you just want to throw a little pity party. Mm-hmm. And her accepting the good graces that this man is putting forward for her, because he's doing relationshipy stuff, and that would be a step in getting out of this like pity party that she's kind of made for herself. And she might just not be ready yet. She might still be kind of grieving her past life, you know what I mean, with the bakery and everything. And then Melissa McCarthy's character kind of is like, hey, you got to start taking those steps, dude. You can't stay stagnant. And I think that moving forward and starting a new chapter is scary sometimes. And if she would have baked that cake, those are the beginning steps to officially opening a new chapter. And that's scary. We did it. We got it. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. Thank God.
So that's Clue and Clueless.
Thank you so much for tuning in. By the end of this episode, we have like the little like, you know, the cork board, and we're trying to figure out the character. Anyway, okay, I feel like I understand that character a little bit better now. Yeah. And that's what I like. I really enjoy character work. So that's when I'm watching movies and stuff, that's where my head is always at. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I like that she's not just this definitely like one-dimensional character where it's just like she's kind of like fighting against this friend who's trying to like steal her best friend. It's more of like her whole life, you know. It's not just this. It's other, and it's like it turns into her kind of ruining her friend's bridal shower because it's like you're putting all this focus on you, and like she kind of said it, it's like they made a joke about it. It's like you're out crazying me. Yeah, and I appreciate that that's good, because you're right. That is what makes a fully formed character and what makes a fully formed story. Because if you want this movie to end, and we talked about this like with Ocean's 11 a little bit, like if you want there to be a scene where she flies off the handle like she did. So she is at names so that people can follow along. So Annie is at Lillian's bridal shower and loses it, flies off the handle, finally calls out Helen, who is the antagonist in this film, calls out Helen on like everything that she's done for constantly trying to one-up her and overshadow her as Lillian's best friend, and just goes outside and wrecks the bridal shower, like tears apart the huge heart cookie with the bride and groom's names in it, destroys the chocolate fountain. Just tries to. Yeah, well, yeah. But absolutely just like flies off the handle. And if you want that kind of reaction from someone, that person has to be in a pressure cooker. It can't just be she's annoyed by this other person. That has to truly be that person's last straw. So I appreciate that they take the time to really let you know this woman has hit her rock bottom. Like she has hit rock bottom and then found 50 more feet under it, and this was just her last straw, you know? And I think that they were able to, the characters are still a little bit over the top because it's a comedy, and they, you know, like it is still a little bit heightened, but it's not so far outside of the realm of believability, you know what I mean? Which I appreciate. I appreciate that they didn't betray the characters, and that these decisions were still somewhat rooted in reality, you know? And speaking of over-the-top characters and not using your psychology degree so hard this episode. Can't do it. What was your favorite, like, I would say, bit during the movie? Oh, my favorite bit? Mine was definitely, I'm going to jump I wonder if we'll have the same one. Was the trying on dresses. Oh, okay, we don't. Me, I loved that, though. That was just hilarious. I was fighting between that one and the plane, though. The plane is my favorite one, I think. Her talking to Air Marshal John is so funny to me, and her just not giving up. So Melissa McCarthy's character, what's her name? Oh my gosh. Did we watch this movie? You know, again, I'm terrible at names in general. Melissa McCarthy's... And it's hard because I can't just, like, use a cheat sheet because on IMDb they're not organized. Megan. Yeah, she says Megan like 20 times. I know. I know. Anyway, so
Megan's character, they're on an airplane, and she is seated next to this guy named John, who that actor is her husband in real life.
Actually,
yeah.
Were they married during this?
I think so. Yeah. He's if you watch Melissa McCarthy's movies, he's always in them.
Really?
He's always in them. Yeah. He always plays at least a small little character. He's in all of them.
Never noticed that.
Really? It's really cute.
For it.
It's kind of I think Adam Sandler does that with his wife sometimes. I don't know if she's in all of them, but she's in some of his movies. She's in some of his movies. Yeah. I know that. I've
never seen his wife, actually, so.
Maybe you just don't know who she is.
Yeah, exactly. I've never, actually seen her.
Because I know that she's in a decent amount of his movies. But yeah, Melissa McCarthy movies, her husband's always in it, and they always have at least a brief interaction. And this is one of my favorite interactions of theirs in their movies. So she's on the plane next to this man, John, and she's pretty immediately, she goes, "Notice you didn't check any baggage. Didn't put anything in the carry-on bins either, so I just want you to know I got your back. I know you're an air marshal." And this character, John, is "I'm not an air marshal. Just gonna take a nap." And she will not stop.
Which he never does either, so it's you're ruining your own.
Well, because she won't stop talking to him. She keeps saying, "So where's your gun? I just got to know so that I can be prepared if something happens. It's strapped on your leg. Where is it?" And they kind of start talking, and she's entertaining him, which I think is funny. Anyway, it comes out he is an air marshal, and I think that's so funny. Marshal. What a good... He goes, "I'm coming, I'm an air marshal," and she goes running after him. She goes, "I got your back, John." That is so funny. Also, she pulls out her iPod Nano, which is a throwback. I had a Nano. Mine was the blue one, and I loved it. I still think those things looked pretty sleek.
I had a mini Anna Nano.
Oh, the little one?
Yeah.
The shuffle?
Yeah, mini shuffle.
My mom had a shuffle.
It was good.
She was pretty cool for that.
Good little workout thing to have.
Yeah, it was good. No, it was good for exercise. But I think that was my favorite bit. But the dresses bit is so funny.
It's so funny, and I think
Which, do you want to explain to them what the dresses bit is?
Yeah, the dresses bit is they're going to go to a very high scale fancy bridal dress on area where you gotta have these
bridal dress on area.
I don't know what this called.
Bridal shop, bridal store.
David's Bridal.
David's Bridal. It's like Kleinfeld's. If you've ever seen Say Yes to the Dress, that's fine.
Okay.
Just better, nicer than David's Bridal.
Anyway, yeah, there we go. And they're trying on dresses. Everything's going great. They're kind of a fight about what dresses they want to actually choose. Because a
very understated fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
One dress is $800, so imagine an entire bridal party wearing an $800.
Being a bridesmaid is expensive.
Yeah, I couldn't relate.
It's expensive because you're supposed to help pay, and I mean people are happy to do it if you're friends with the bride. I
don't know about $800.
Well, that's what I mean. That is excessive. That's asking too much of your bridal party, but. Being a bridesmaid, generally, you're going to spend money. You're going to spend money on a bridesmaid dress. You're going to probably spend money on shoes. You might spend money on your hair and makeup. You might spend money, on trips. You're going to help pay for the bridal party. You're going to help pay for the bachelorette party. It's expensive to be on a bridal party. And so you got to kind of, find discounts where you can. And dress shopping is usually one where, especially today, is generally within your control. I feel like it was more common in this time, the time that this movie came out. It was more common still for bridal parties for everyone to be wearing the same dress in in recent history. And the
in the COVID times.
In the past 5 to 10 years, I would say it's become very common for brides now to tell their bridal party, hey, just stay within this color palette, or just within this color palette in this designer, giving more looser.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's to give you some insight.
Yeah, give me insight. I don't know anything about the bridal part of it.
It used to be very uniform, and now it has become a lot more lax and more of hey, these are your parameters. Find a dress that's within your budget that you feel confident in, because that's hard too. Because a bridal party, not everyone is going to have the same body size, body shape, body dimensions, and not everyone's going to feel comfortable in the same kind of outfit. And if you're going to be spending money on a dress, you want it to be something that you feel confident in. And so now it's more of, look, figure it out, find something in your budget. These are your general guidelines. Do what you're going to do. I want you to feel confident. I want you to be able to budget, which thank goodness. But so that's part of why this was such a big thing, because they were all supposed to pick the same dress. So if one girl is saying, I want the $800 dress, everyone's going to have to pay $800 for their dress. And that is not including alterations.
But that's not the funny bit. While Kristen's dying over there, the funny bit, truly, is they had just eaten at this Brazilian steakhouse, which gave them all food poisoning. So they're all running to the restroom and kind of dying. And then Maya Rudolph runs outside while she's in full designer wedding dress.
She's trying to get to the bathroom across the street.
And kind of just misses her target in the middle of the street. But
she's so funny. She starts like slowing down. She's like, "Oh, it's happening. It happened. It's happening."
To me, the absolute funniest part of that though was, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get their names, like character names. But
but the other bridesmaids, they were smaller. Them I can forgive you for. Ellie Kemper's character is Becca, and the blonde woman's name is Rita.
The antagonist though is
Helen.
Helen, yes, Helen and Kristen. Helen and Amy, sorry.
No, Annie.
Annie, wow, dude, I'm telling you, names are hard today.
There were too many characters
There are
in this
so
movie.
many characters, actually.
Our brains
So
can
many.
only hold like three
I
characters
need
max.
Yeah. 4 main characters. I can't have this big star power.
Protagonist, antagonist, sidekick.
Even
That's
like
all I can
Ocean's
do.
11, I couldn't tell you everyone's name. If you're not on the screen for regardless. So they have this standoff trying to prove, Amy's trying to prove that she doesn't have food poisoning, and it's just this hilarious little bit of her just like dripping sweat and just becoming...
Did you call her Amy?
Annie.
Annie.
I know.
Annie.
I'm gonna take a shot from now on every time.
Please no, please don't. Please God.
So, help me remember the names.
She's gonna go downhill so fast.
But Annie and her have a standoff. She's trying to prove that she doesn't have food poisoning. And Helen's trying to call her bluff.
Yeah, she's trying to save face.
But
Helen didn't eat meat.
Yeah, Helen didn't eat the meat. But the part that just really got me was it made me think back to when I had food poisoning. And I felt exactly like that. I could feel my life just draining out of me. It was the absolute worst time. So just like seeing it like on someone else play out, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been there. The flashbacks are coming back.
Oh, ew, but NOM.
Yeah. But this movie is hilarious.
It was so good, and the movie does a really good job of. I don't want to like get too stereotypical, but like the movie does a good job of kind of highlighting how women argue, especially in this kind of situation where you don't really know each other super well. You're trying to kind of keep the peace because you're here for your friend. You know, you're doing a wedding together. You're on the bridal party, but like kind of like digs that are very like read between the lines kind of digs, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. But on the plane, it was like, oh, I'm smaller than you, so...
Yes, exactly. Saying, so Kristen Wiig, because the first time I wanted to say Stuart, and then I wanted to say Belle.
But her name is Annie.
We're doing a horrible job.
Names today are terrible.
We're really lucky this is a movie that a lot of people have seen because we're doing a really, really bad job at explaining it. So anyway, there's a scene on the airplane where Kristen Wiig's character Annie is she's very nervous to be on the airplane, and so Helen offers her a couple of sedative pills, whatever they are. She gives those to Annie, and then also offers her scotch to like amplify the effects.
It's like, kick it in, get it over with.
Yeah, but she says something to her. She goes, "Oh, you should just be able to take these. It's not going to be a big deal. They always work for me, and I'm a lot smaller than you." And it's like, like you know what you're saying. You know what you're saying. So anyway. But the movie does a really good job of doing that. And it kicks it off at the beginning when they're making speeches at Maya's character at Lillian's wedding.
That part's funny because it's like way over top.
They end up taking it over the top, but it starts rooted in reality.
Yeah.
It starts where one person is saying something very kind, and the other person comes in and just ever so slightly one-ups them, which makes the other one feel a little threatened, and then they try to one-up them a little bit more, and things like that, you know. And they do end up taking it to another level because the bit drags on, and it's funny. But they do a good job throughout the whole movie of having those really understated little digs. Like, for example, the thing the straw that finally breaks the camel's back is Kristen Wiig had before said, I want to do a bridal shower for Lillian. I won't think it could be Paris themed. She's always talked about wanting to go to Paris, so we can bring a little bit of Paris here. And then Helen gifts Lillian tickets to actually go to Paris, and she's gonna go with her. So now it's just a 2-person trip to Paris, and she's gonna get a whole bunch of credit for it, and that just finally breaks the camel's back. And it's because, you know, I told you, I said this is her favorite thing. You know what you're doing by doing that. That's less of a gift for her and more of a sticking it to me kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's something I was going to mention is, like, even though Helen goes and steals her idea from the get-go about the whole, like, party itself.
Yeah.
You know, Kristen, you know, gritted her teeth, is like, whatever, I'm just going to enjoy it.
Right.
It is what it is.
It's not about me. Yeah.
But then, yeah, like you said, that's what just broke it all.
Finally. Because that's such a strong slap in the face. Because she knows exactly what she's doing. You know? She knows exactly what she's doing. But to everyone else in the party,
it's just a really nice gift.
It's just a nice gift. And Annie's just
really
flying off the handle.
over-the-top gift, I would feel like, wow, like my gift means nothing at this point.
Oh, yeah, no. Super over-the-top gift. Have you ever known someone like this? Someone who's just, like, always just kind of one-upping everyone around them and kind of doing it with their nose in the air?
I don't think I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew someone like this.
Yeah.
In high school, I'm not gonna name names, but when I was in high school, there was somebody like this who just always it was oh, how'd you do on the science test? Good, I got a 95. Oh, that's cool. I got a 99. And I was really upset that I didn't get the 100 because I studied for out. Like, that kind of, like, I couldn't say anything to this girl without her having something to beat me. And that was frustrating. Those kind of people really get under my skin. Like, you can't ever be happy for other people. You always have to feign happiness and then one-up them.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm lucky I've never known.
Yeah,
like that,
because they're enraging. I
blame your private school. I feel like that's what was, like, built off of the...
No, it was just that one person.
Okay,
everyone else was pretty okay.
No one else was cutthroat like that?
No one else was like that. It was just this one person. Whatever. Anyway.
And you said also this is a very quotable movie.
Yes.
My favorite quote was, "Help me, I'm poor."
Help me, I'm poor. That was another dig. Because she goes, you know what? She can have my seat.
Oh my gosh.
She can have my seat. Everyone deserves to experience first class at one point in her life. She shouldn't miss out on that just because she can't afford it.
Help me, I'm poor.
And yes, she's at that point she's lost it, so she's just like, help me, I'm poor. That scene is so funny.
Anyway.
And he goes, Steve, my name's Steve. Are you an appliance? I'm a human man. My name is Steve.
Oh my gosh. This movie was killing me. I want to keep it... I wrote some notes in here, but I don't want to go over our PG-13 limit. Because this is a...
Yeah, because our show airs on PBS.
Our show does air on PBS. Yeah. I have us a deal next week. Next season, guys. Get ready.
Our next episode, our guest is going to be Big Bird.
Oh my god.
And Elmo's the week after.
Big Bird.
But like on the like, you know, like on the Tonight Show when they have like he's talking to a guest and like it'll like just scroll in and it'll be like next week Big Bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Credit me for editor on this episode.
What about you? You forgot to uncharge your laptop, so you kind of just have it out now. You don't really have your notes, but you took brain notes.
The couple of things that I really took note of was, again, like how accurate this is of like how sometimes, like, how women can fight with each other. And oh no, see, and I told myself to type it down on my phone notes. There was something else where I was like, wow, that's really realistic.
My brain lost a couple wrinkles, so now the notes are just sliding off.
Smooth brain.
But one thing I loved, and I think it's going to go into what you've been saying this whole time about, you know, this, like, subtle jabs of women and all this kind of stuff like that, was, you know, Maya and Kristen, they have this giant, like, fight after she kind of ruined her, you know, whole bridal shower.
Oh, destroyed it.
Destroyed everything.
No recovering.
She's like, she doesn't even get a puppy. And
that's not so over the top.
But it's like, when she comes, you know, not like to her rescue or anything, but comes to meet her, you know, because she's like down in the dumps. She's, at this point in the movie, Maya's like, sad, you know, she's like, I'm making this giant leap in my life, and like I'm never gonna be in this apartment again because she used to live on her own. She's gonna move into her husband's place now. She's like, I'm not gonna have this tub anymore. I'm not gonna, like, my whole life's changing. And she's like, I'm not gonna be, you know, 5 minutes away from my best friend. And even though they had this
crisis,
exactly, and it's like, even though they just had this giant fight, and it's like she almost like didn't even want her to come to the wedding or anything like that. She it's just this moment of like, you are still my best friend. Yeah, we fought. And it's like, yes, I have new friends. People get friends, but she's never gonna, like, replace you.
Yeah. And that to me is, like, like, a true testament to, like, real friendship is, like, you can be so angry at each other, but, like, there is nothing that is going to break that, like, foundational bond. It's like that person becomes, like, your family, you know? Like, that.
Well, yeah, they grew up together.
Yeah.
They have that little picture of them as kids and everything.
Exactly. And I have, my closest friends are my family. Like, when I have great friends.
Wow,
so
I'm family.
This is really uncomfortable.
Oh.
We're just gonna sidestep that. So anyway, my friends, but yeah, no, my friends are my family, and that that's where I was going. Is I'm lucky enough to have friends that, like, I haven't really been angry at very often, but, like, if I haven't, like,
I was just curious why you raised your voice like that.
Well, I mean,
you're, like, angry at.
I can't do this anymore if you're gonna be. I can't do this if you're gonna be like this. I can't work under these conditions.
I can't. Look, it's been a long day.
Oh my god, I know I'm tired. Okay, but no, but I luckily have friends that, like, we're very respectful of each other, and we're also, like, pretty communicative, so we don't really butt heads very often. But, like, when there is a disagreement, it feels like being angry or, like, being frustrated with my sister. Like, there is almost nothing that you could say to me or, like, do that would make me, like, not still foundationally care about you. Like, we can talk to each other and we can have a disagreement, we can have an argument, and I know that if I had an issue tomorrow, you would be here. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe we wouldn't be happy about it, maybe it'd be a little uncomfortable, but you would be here. You know what I mean? And vice versa. And that's what that is. Those are two women that, like, I think that they want, you know, they miss each other, but, like, they're in a pretty big fight, but it's like something went wrong, I'm coming. Like, I'm going to be there and we're going to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, I think that's a true testament to friendship, is that she shows up and she lets her in and talks to her. You know what I mean?
I think about this time, like, going to our friendship, we like to joke a lot that we're not, like, friends or anything like that.
But we are very close friends.
We are. And I think of this time that we kind of got into, like, a big fight. And I felt bad about, like, I felt really bad at what I said, because I was like, I got, like, kind of really mad. And then, like, but the next day I was like, I knew kind of, like, what you're going through, right? And we were like, we're going to bring you some food.
Yeah, you brought me
like,
tacos.
This is like, I was like, I feel bad about that. And I was like, I don't want you thinking that I don't like you as a person.
Yeah, and I think, and that's a great example, because you, like, we did get into a fight, and, like, as soon as you brought me I think I cried when you brought me tacos, because I was like, because it was like an olive branch, you know what I mean? But, like, it was like, there's nothing that, like, And I think that, and that's the thing, these two women have known each other since childhood, but it's really like the first fight that, like the first big fight in a friendship that really determines which road you're gonna like continue down. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the same with like any kind of relationship. The first big fight and how you get through that is really gonna either strengthen or just like ruin the friendship. You know what I mean? Because either you have to like, when it's a significant fight, not when it's like a small little disagreement. If it's a significant argument, you are either going to decide that your friendship is more important than whatever's going on and decide to be on the same team to continue forward stronger, or it's pretty much a decision, whether it's spoken or not, it's a decision that this thing is more important than our friendship. And then it's just naturally just not gonna... It won't be the same even if you try. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like the first fight is essential. But what's nice about these two women too is they've been friends since they were young. This cannot be their first fight. You know, it can't be their first significant fight. No, definitely not. And I like how you can kind of tell, because it's not super awkward when she comes over. She comes over and her friend, like Lillian, is laying in bed with her covers over her head, and Annie comes over and sits down and just pulls the covers off of her, and she just says, "What happened? Like, what's wrong?" And Lillian's character immediately just starts saying what's wrong. It's not like an awkward, like uncomfortable, whatever. Like, you get the sense that they've worked through things before, and they're both pretty quick to apologize to each other too, which I think is pretty big.
And I think it has to do a lot also with age, and that's why I really love this movie, because it's like, it's women in their 30s. Yeah. This isn't like a young 20s like women or anything like that. No. Because I feel like those scenarios would be definitely different in that sense. But it's like, like you said, these are people who have been friends for a long time. They're adults, you know. They know they're going to fight. They know they're going to get in these really stupid things. But at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, unless it's something like earth-shattering or something like that. But it's
it'd have to be significant, But
yeah, it's like, we're going to make up because it's like, you're my best friend.
Yeah. You know? And I think, too, there's something... I was watching Friends the other day. Really? Shocker. I was watching Friends and I was thinking about this, about how like the friends that you make specifically in your 20s, and I that's not everybody, but I feel like for a majority of people, because some people, their core group of friends are still their friends from high school, and like that's where...
I feel like that's very rare.
But I think it depends, because like in Columbus... A lot of the kids I went... And I don't say this in a bad way. That sounded like I was going to say it in a bad way. But, like, a lot of the kids that I went to high school with in Columbus, their best friends, their bridal parties, and everything, those are still the friends that they made in grade school or in high school. Now, and also, that's probably also a little bit because of private school. But, like, the friends and the people that I know in Columbus, Ohio... are in a very different stage of life than my friends here in Austin, even though we're all the same age. Yeah. So I think it just kind of depends. But I would say that it is a more universal experience for it to be the friends that you make in your 20s that like really become your family. Because those are the people that sometimes they're your roommates. Like in your 20s, you go through so much. You go through so much with school, with careers, with becoming an adult, getting your first cars, having car issues, having bills for the first time, you know, like significant things that are on you to take care of. And so there's a lot of just natural bonding that goes on with the people that you're close to in your 20s, I feel like. There's a lot of like relationship stuff. There's just, your 20s are a mess. And so the people that you're going through that with, you're naturally going to form a very close relationship with. And so I was thinking about it watching Friends, and just about how people, those people who go through your 20s and your 30s with you, that's your family. You know what I mean? And you can have arguments. You interact with them differently than other friends. You know what I mean? Than other friends that you have. Like, I feel like the way that I talk to you and like our core group of friends today, like I wouldn't necessarily speak to like the friends that I still have from high school that way because we haven't seen each other in a while, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's these people, you grow together in a much closer way, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah. And in like even like the fights that you're willing to pick with that group of people, it's different because you kind of start to grow a different kind of comfort level with these people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially because in our friend group, I have lived with everyone except for you. Me. Everyone except for you. And so like when you're roommates with someone, that's a whole nother level of just like closeness. You know what I mean? Like that's just when you live together with somebody, that's you've seen them in all states, you know? You have. Yeah. You've seen them in all states. Definitely. All different kind of emotional levels.
I've seen some of those when you are on 6th Street. But that's why I was glad I was able to come in and go out. You know, I didn't really have to worry too much.
I could fly in and out. That was when you were still like slowly and being initiated into the friend group.
But I would just sit in the corner and be like, they're losing over there. They're losing their minds.
No. Your job was mediating between emotional turmoil and dominating a basketball game.
I don't know about that. I think my job was to buy y'all shots every now and then and take y'all's trash out.
Yeah. Well, in the apartment, yeah, for sure. Absolutely, that was your job. And you know what? You did it well, and you earned some friends.
That's why we have a podcast.
You drank our Taka.
You know, that is poison in a bottle.
That is the most insane thing that I've ever witnessed a human being do, Mario.
You just gotta drink sometimes, you know?
Not like that.
I don't think anything can top that friendship talk that we just had right there. But any other notes or anything else you want to talk about this movie?
I just loved it. It
was a great pick.
Did we want to talk about other female ensemble movies? Because I looked it up to see if this was the first of its kind.
So we had, I'm not sure which beginning you'll hear. Maybe you'll hear the second one, and so this will make more sense. But I had said before we started this film, I was like, was this like the first like, and I don't mean like first, but like biggest popularity wise, all female ensemble?
I guess, and are you talking about comedy? Because, like, that also, like...
You are right. There's been, like, dramas, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I literally just looked up female ensemble comedies.
Okay.
And Bridesmaids is the first one that comes up. But then you also have The First Wives Club, which came out in 1996. I'm going to skip past these. Sister Act.
Oh, yeah. Sister Act. How did I forget about that one?
A League of Their Own, which...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm forgetting. I forgot
9 to 5.
I've never seen 9 to 5.
Pitch Perfect came out in 2012, the year after, though.
But Rebel Wilson. See, I was like, man. I was like, I know Rebel Wilson, but I don't think I've ever, like, truly seen any of their movies.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've only ever seen them from, like, just some of their, like, bits in movies.
Oh, Girls Trip. I never saw that, but I wanted to.
Cheetah Girls, if you want to count that.
Bring It On. The Bring It On movies.
I've never seen those either.
Okay, well, that's kind of messed up. These are later movies.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, but that was later. Steel Magnolias. Huh?
I guess you can consider... Could you consider that an all-female ensemble?
I don't know. I don't really think
that's
so.
That's stretching it.
I agree.
You're stretching that one, BuzzFeed.
I agree. Clueless, kind of. That's What's-Her-Face. Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh, Legally Blonde?
I don't know if I wouldn't call Legally Blonde an all-female ensemble. No, I think it's just women heavy because there's sororities in it, but it's not a female ensemble.
You're right, but there is
Mean Girls?
With I've never seen Mean Girls, actually. I feel like that's a cardinal sin.
Next week.
You know, people quote Mean Girls stuff to me, like, all the time, and I kind of just, like, give a nice little chuckle and, like, shake my head, yeah. Like, I know what they're talking about. I
can't believe you've never seen Mean Girls. That's going to be on the list. Okay. That has to be on the list.
I feel like your list is a huge, like, stark contrast to, like, my list.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It really works out. You know, I love it.
No, it does. Because a lot of my movies are going to be Disney, rom-com. Like, that's where we're going to kind of live. Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome to me.
Because those are my favorite movies. But overall, I liked it. I liked how, like I said, how this movie kind of maintains strong roots in reality. Mm-hmm. I love the guy that she ends up with, whatever his name is, Rhodes. Love him. Sweet little baby angel. Deserves the world.
So, I had said that when he came on the screen, by the way. I've gotten really into, like, British comedies for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just watching, like, a lot of British
what is he in?
TV shows. He's in the IT Crowd. I don't think you've... Okay, so...
Never heard of it.
I have never heard of it either. Well, I've heard of it, obviously, right? People talk about it, like, all the time. As just one of these funny British comedies, right? And I saw it was on Netflix. And I was like, wow, this is hilarious.
Really?
So I'll have it on every now and then when I'm, like, working or whatever.
Yeah.
Just, like, as background noise. And I was watching it on the plane from Vegas. And it's, wow, those episodes kill me. Nice, just, like, little 24-minute episodes. 11, I think it's only, like, 11 episode seasons. So it's, like, very small seasons. I think there's only 4 seasons also. So I was like, wow, maybe for one of our clues.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. And he's in it. He's also in Cloverfield Paradox, which that was like my first ever introduction to him. And I loved his character in that. So he's a hilarious guy. And seeing him in this movie and also seeing him, you know, get his happy ending was really nice. He played
a sweet character. Loved him very much. He was so good. I loved him very much. I'm glad that they got their happy ending. I love weddings. And I know that this focused on like all of the like literally it highlighted all the negative parts of weddings, but like I love weddings. I love being part of weddings, like in the bridal party. I love just being in the wedding, you know, just audience.
Yeah.
And just attending a wedding, being a guest.
You know what? It's so funny because I've only ever attended one wedding.
Ever?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't go to weddings growing up at all, which I was always really jealous of my friends who had like older cousins or aunts or whatever that were getting married, because I loved weddings. I love watching Say Yes to the Dress. I had a wedding scrapbook. I mean, I was all about the weddings. And I never got to go to them when I was younger. But now that I'm older, you know, my friends have gotten married and cousins are getting married. And so I've been going to more and more weddings. And I just love them. I love weddings. I just love all of it. I love the dresses. You know, I have had an account at Kleinfeld's. I have had an account at Kleinfeld's since I was probably 18.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I've still got it. It's still on there. I've got like a list of favorites of wedding dresses. So if anyone would like to pick me up, I'm ready for the wedding.
If anyone wants to add me on RuneScape, my name is TimeFreak17.
Stupid. Wow. That was good. What do you rate this movie out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I'm a 5 guy. Can I do it out of 5?
Sure.
A 4. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a 4.5? See, this is why I like the 10-point scale. If you're going to use a 10-point scale, what are you going to rate it?
An 8.
Okay.
That's like a 4.
I gave the camera a Jim Halpert look.
No one likes Jim.
What?
No one likes Jim.
I like Jim.
I was watching The Office like the first couple seasons for the first time. This is off topic entirely to the movie.
Not really.
But like, kind of.
What's her name is in that? There's a couple characters that are crossovers.
But Jim, not a nice dude. Kind of a bad guy. Like, yeah, her relationship isn't the greatest to begin with. But he's kind of like a home wrecker.
I don't know. I don't disagree with you, but I also disagree with you. You know what I mean?
What about you? What are you rating this as your pick of a movie?
I hadn't seen it in a little while. I also think I would rate it an 8. I hadn't seen it in a while, but this is one of the few comedies that like I will laugh out loud at though every single time that I watch it.
It's very hard, I want to say, to make me like really laugh on comedies like this. Though.
It is. It's just too. It's too good. It's too good. It's also her husband is not included in this movie at all. Like the guy that she's marrying has no input in like any of this.
Yeah,
he's literally not in the movie at all.
Oh, it is.
He's in the movie twice, I think, and you literally just like see the side of his face.
I don't think he ever talks either.
No. No. Man, what a good movie. Anyway, I love weddings. We're gonna have to see the next one that we. Okay, never mind.
Keep it to yourself?
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything.
Alright, keep that to yourself.
I will.
keep your secrets then.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in again to this episode of Clued and Clueless. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @KristenHosty, Krist. What?
I like how you looked at me as if like I knew your.
Well, I looked at. It was like a. Am I saying the right thing? @KristenHosty, KristenHosty. And if you want to follow Mario.
Wow. If you want to follow me for whatever reason, my handle also on Instagram is MER_RIO. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple or Amazon, or if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, drop a review. That would help us out.
Would love a review.
Yeah.
And also...
Only if it's positive.
Yeah. Keep the negative ones.
If you have negative things to say, please move on.
Well, if you have negative things to say, actually, email us at clued at... Well,
but put in the subject line Mario. I don't want to read them.
Email us at clued@cluedandclueless.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Clued and Clueless. If you'd like to follow us, you can follow us on Twitter at @Clued_Clueless, on Instagram at Clued and Clueless Podcast, on TikTok at Clued and Clueless Pod, and on YouTube at Clued and Clueless. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.